Here's overreaction number 4. And we can start rolling through these a little bit more quickly. There wasn't a top 20 team at the Champions Classic when we saw them play. T.O. Actually, no, Fancy, you were there, right? There wasn't a top 20 team there. Is that crazy?
At the Champions Classic in Indianapolis?
At the Champions Classic in Indianapolis.
That's an overreaction. That's an overreaction because Kansas is a top 20 team.
Yep.
In college basketball. Oh, come on. You're honestly going to react to a loss to Tennessee, who I think is one of the better teams too?
Right now, in this very moment, I don't think that Kansas is one of the top 20 teams in college basketball. Now, if you're asking me do I think that Bill Self is going to figure out a way to make this team be one of the top 10 teams in America? Yes. He's got a month before we really get into play. They can't shoot, man. They can't shoot, and they don't have a 5-man. And it just, with the way that the roster fits together, you can't really play KJ Adams at the 5 because he's not quite good enough defensively to be Mark Vital. You can't throw the ball to him in the post. You can't space it out. He's not a passer in short rolls. He's just kind of out there. Jalen Wilson can't make shots. Kevin McCullough can't make shots.
Yeah,
the only guy that you have that's a shooter is Grady Dick, and Grady Dick is just like a guy that gets isolated on the perimeter. You play 2 small guards that can't really do anything offensively, right?
Might be the worst team in the Big 12.
Look, honestly,
I think Fanta. Overreaction Monday.
I think they might be right now. I would say Texas is better than them. I would say Baylor is better than them, and I would say that they are kind of right there with Texas Tech. It's kind of a, do you like vanilla ice cream? Do you like strawberry ice cream? Are you more of a mint chocolate chip guy? Do you like pistachio? Do you want a little bit of whipped cream on top of it with the sprinkles? Do you do the rainbow sprinkles? Do you do chocolate sprinkles? Do you want any of that chocolate sauce on there? Is it more like caramel? The thing that I really like that they got down at my little local
You're that down on them?
Strawberry sauce. I think they're like a top 20 right now. They're a top 25 team.
Terrence, you just saw them.
They're not as big as they usually are. I'll give you that.
But they're still one of the 20 best teams in college basketball. 20.
Yeah. Jalen Wilson's a dude.
But he's one of the best players in the country.
Yeah, he's a dude. They're very good still. They are relying a little bit too much on him. They just got their
ass kicked by a team that lost to Colorado.
Stop that shit. Stop it. Tennessee, if I were to pick a top 6 or 7, Tennessee would be in that mix. They are very good, especially when their guards are playing well. They are very good. And those guards played their nuts off. They were really, really impressive. Tennessee was really impressive. And not only that, they just beat the heck out of Kansas because they were just bigger. And if they're hitting shots, Grady Dick is very schemable. He is very schemable. We've given him his flowers. That's good. He's a very good shooter. If you sit in his pocket, he's not getting that shot off because it's a bit of a windup. So that's kind of the issue with them right now is they don't have anything besides Jalen Wilson.
You said sit in his pocket. Just explain what that means real quick for people who don't know.
No, but if you keep your hand there close to his chest, right in his sternum, he's not going to be able to get the shot off, because he brings it right in front of his face. And whenever they put an athlete on, Max Klesmet from Wisconsin locked his ass down. Mm-hmm. And Max is a good player. Max is not an NBA level player or a big time defender that you're going to see in the Sweet 16. In all respect to Max, he had a nice weekend, but he's not like Julian Phillips sat in there. There was nothing. He wasn't getting a shot off. And the ones that he did were from 40 feet. So, and I'm willing to live even with Grady Dick taking 40 footers consistently. They're going to figure it out. KJ Adams is a nice lob threat. That I don't know that that's the issue as much
as
there's
no spacing to get him those lobs. Though.
That's right.
That's the issue. Right. You could just sit everybody right in the paint. You have one person sit there right in Grady Dick's lap and to everybody else in the paint. And how are you going to there's no, you can't score.
Yeah, they got to hit shots. That's what it comes down to with Kansas. They have to hit some more shots if they're going to play smaller. McCullough's not shooting it. They're shooting 33% as a team. They've got to hit shots in order to open things up for Jalen Wilson, who's much more comfortable getting to his right hand and just using his physical powers. I'm just going to call them powers, using his physical presence to get to the rim and to that 8 to 10 foot range where he's so good. They don't hit shots, they're in trouble. And they have a bunch of guys that aren't necessarily known for that. So that's kind of where the issue lies at this point.
Yeah, I think they need to go Jalen Wilson at the 5. Go full small ball. Jalen Wilson at the 5, McCullough at the 4, get MJ Rice out there, get Grady Dick out there and play DeJuan Harris, and then rotate in the bigs. Then start getting Ernest Uday 8 to 10 to 12 minutes here and there, getting him, learning him, teaching him how to kind of play that role that David McCormick played. Get KJ Adams in there when you want to mix things up and get a little bit more athletic and a little bit tougher. But start with Jalen Wilson, who, by the way, like, he's definitely never missed leg day. Like, that dude probably does squats in his sleep.
Yeah, he's a strong dude. And he looks much bigger in person too. They're shooting 33%. They're shooting 33. I'm going to let you go, fans. I'm sorry, but they're shooting 33% with Grady Dick shooting 21 of 44. So take him out of there, and you can basically run a box and one and just pack that paint.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's a problem, and that's the thing. Like Grady Dick too in the Champions Classic, he came around late. They needed that burst, or else they don't end up beating Duke. But I'm going to take it a step further. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Do it.
Your original question was, at the Champions Classic Fanta, did we not see one of the 20 best teams in the country, top 20 team? Well, here's the thing. To me, two of which, to me, I still believe that Duke is a top 20 team in college basketball because they made it to the championship game. They lost to the team that I believe is the nation's third best team at the moment in Purdue. Like, I thought Duke, I actually like the way Duke has played this season. I thought yesterday they got beat by a red hot team. And to me, Jeremy Roach, for the most part, has taken on the role that Terrence talked about over the offseason that he needs to take on. Their freshmen got to figure it out, guys. They're still figuring it out. Some of these kids are trying to figure through things. I thought Tyrese Proctor was encouraging, like the role that you talked about, Rob, that he needs to take on for this team as a shot maker. Thought he did that to a degree over the weekend. So to me, like, Duke and Kansas are still top 20 teams, and it's really hard. Like, it's really hard for my brain to compute, even though they were a non-story during Feast Week. Like, guys, if Kentucky's not one of the 20 or 25 best teams in college basketball, then that is a major indictment on John Calipari. I still think Kentucky's one of the 20 best teams in college basketball. Your question is an overreaction.
I don't right now. I don't think Kentucky is. There's a lot of structural issues there. I will say this: we talked about Kansas, right? Kansas.
Where's
right
the
now
structural where are the structural issues at Kentucky? They've got a good point guard. They've got shooting. They've got a stud on the wing. They have the National Player of the Year at the 5. They have an athletic 4 who can hit a 15-footer. Where's the structural? It's not structural.
At the very top. At the very top.
Okay. So that's fine. I just looked up what Kansas's shooting percentage was. If you take out Grady Dick, it's 20%.
Yeah. If you wanna know right now, T.O., you know what I'm about to do?
Tell me.
I'm about to whip it out. I'm about to whip out my Torvik.
Bust your Torvik out.
Do you know where Kansas is right now on Torvik? If you only look, if you take out all of their preseason stuff and only look at from the time the game started, right? Do you know where Kansas ranks on Torvik right now? 51st. They're 18th on KenPom. They're a borderline not top 20 team right now based on the way they started the season, but I have trust in them to be able to get there. We talked about this last night. I don't want to reiterate it too much. I'm still in on Duke being good. Kentucky's got the pieces to be able to get there in Michigan State. It's very hard for me to judge them right now, missing a couple of key pieces on that roster.